Well, guys, in this session, we guys are going to have the beautiful discussion about something like working with arrays. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this particular session, we are going to have the beautiful discussion with what your friend arrays. So, kindly notice that what is an array and how to work with these arrays. What are the rules and regulations? Please pay more attention on this, guys. So, just let me give one small introduction part about what is an arrays and how to work with this what your friend just various types of arrays. So I want to cover you some other important topics as a part of our session today. All right. Okay, just now let me have one small beautiful example on this particular case. Then just now I have some small important this what is an arrays and when to work with the arrays. So ladies and gentlemen, everyone, we are requesting you pay more attention on this particular thing like this. So what is the arrays and how to work the arrays? So just this is some situation where just yes, in just what your friend just an ordinary variable. Just what is an a variable? Variable is a space to store the data. Example, if you declared one variable to store a value, now what is happened now? One memory block is created in the memory. So one memory block is created with the name of X in the memory, and it is initialized with what your friend, it will be initialized with the value 10. It is initialized with the value what your friend, it will be initialized with the value 10. This is what the case is. Similarly, now I want to take something like this. Now I want to store multiple values. If you want to store 3 values, how your guys are writing integer a comma b comma c. Assume it, I'm requesting you all. So when you write this one, what is going to be happens here is some memory blocks is allocated for the A, and the same way the memory block is allocated for the B and memory block is allocated for the C. So just for the variables, memory blocks are allocated like this. Now just over here, friend, A is the one memory block here, and B is another memory block here, and just a C is another memory block here. So you need to understand one point, my dear friend. An ordinary variable, you can understand an ordinary variable can store a value. Guys, an ordinary variable can store a value. For ordinary variables, memory is allocated random in locations. An ordinary variable can store a value. For the ordinary variables, memory allocations in random in positions. Thus, reading the data from the ordinary variable is little slow. You need to understand 2 points. An ordinary variable can store a value. For ordinary variables, memory locations are random in position. Thus, reading the data from the ordinary variable is little tough. There is some other scenario where I want to write a program. I want to write a program where I want to store 1000 numbers. If you want to write a program to store 1000 numbers, declaring 1000 variables is not a great matter, but the matter is entering the data into the 1000 variables and reading the data from the 1000 variables really matters. So just there is some situation where we are planning to write the program to store 1000 numbers. To store the 1000 numbers, we require 1000 variables. Friends, declaring the 1000 variables may not be the matter, but entering the data into the 1000 variables and reading the data from the 1000 variables is really matters. But in order to eliminate that complexities in the programming, there is a beautiful topic is introduced in our programming called an arrays. Beautiful topic is introduced called an arrays. Now, if you notice something like what a friend, just if you are from the background of C language, if you notice that is something like what we are writing an array. So we are writing what your friend just an array. Then what is happen if you want to store the 3 numbers? If you want to store the 3 numbers, you guys does not require to declare 3 memory blocks, 3 ordinary variables. Rather than declaring all the 3 variables, you can declare a variable. You can declare variable to store multiple values. That is actually an array. That's enough. But what is an array here? Just a definition wise, what is an array? An array is a memory allocation. An array is a memory allocation which enable you to store n number of homogeneous mixture of elements. What is an array? An array is a memory allocation which enable you to store what your friend n number of homogeneous mixture of elements and share the variable name. Got it, my dear? An array is a memory allocation which enable you to store what? N number of homogeneous mixture of elements and share the variable name. If you notice in this context, One memory block is one variable is created with the name of what your friend x. That x is shared by each block of an array. This is what your friend x of 0, x of 1 and x of 2. As we guys already aware, these are called what your friend array index values. These are called as what your friend array index value. Ladies and gentlemen, array index value always starts with what your friend 0, ends with what your friend size minus 1. So the definition is saying very clear. What is an array? An array is a memory allocation which enable you to store what? N number of homogeneous mixture of elements. Which enable you to store what? N number of homogeneous mixture of elements and share the variable name. Yes, if you notice that. So now one variable is created with the name of x, and it is allows you to store what your friend 3 values of same type. But if you notice that each block is shared by the variable name. Each block is shared by what your friend, each block is shared by the variable name. Okay, but very fortunately, array index values starts with what your friend 0, ends with what your friend size minus 1. Okay, just array index value always starts with 0, ends with what your friend size minus 1. This is a matters like. Okay, fine. Just now you can see what is the difference between ordinary variable and array variable. If you notice, an ordinary variable can store a value. But in array, an array variable can store n number of homogeneous mixture of elements. Ordinary variable can store a value. An array variable can store n number of homogeneous mixture of elements. Homogeneous means what your friend, similar type of values. We can say. Homogeneous means what your friend, similar type of values. Similar type of values. Well, that is a concept, right? Well, coming to the second point, for ordinary variables, memory allocations are random in positions. For the ordinary variables, memory allocations are what your friend, random in positions. For the array variable, memory allocations are what? Consequent locations, side by side. For ordinary variable, memory allocations are random in position. For the array variable, memory allocations are what your friend? Consequent locations. Thus, reading the data from the ordinary variable is what your friend slow. Reading the data from the ordinary variable is what your friend slow. Whereas reading the data from the array variable is what your friend faster. These are the certain differences between the ordinary variable and array variable. An array variable can store a number of homogeneous mixture of elements. For the array variable, memory allocations are consequent locations. Thus, reading the data from the array variable is faster than an ordinary variable. My dear friend, this is what the differences between what your friend, an ordinary variable to an array variable. But coming to what your friend, coming to Java arrays. In Java language, arrays are classified into 3 types. In Java language, arrays are classified into what your friend 3 types. Number 1, single dimensional array. Yes, single dimensional array. Some people will say that what your friend 1D array. Number 2 is what your friend something like double dimensional array. Some people saying that 2D array. 2D array. Next one, number 3 is what your friend jagged arrays. Jagged, jagged arrays. Jagged arrays. Some people are saying that what your friend just it is a 3D array. Yes, okay, 3D array. We have the 3 different types of arrays are there. In Java language, arrays are classified into 3 types. Number 1, single dimensional array, SDA. Number 2 is what your friend double dimensional arrays, DDA or 2D array. Number 3 is what your friend jagged arrays. That is number 3. That is what 3D array. So now let me start working with this. So ladies and gentlemen, just I want to give some clarity about how to work with the single dimension arrays, how to work with the double dimension arrays, and even how to work with the jagged arrays. In the middle, here and there, we'll be discussing some new topics like enhanced for loop kind of things will be discussed. Varrocs, I want to cover it. So there is some beautiful topics are there, ladies and gentlemen, requesting a lot of attention. Now this is about what your friend single dimensional array. Now what is a single dimensional array? Yes, you guys already aware. Single dimensional array is a memory allocation which enable you to store the homogeneous mixture of elements in a linear fashion. In a linear fashion, my dear. Linear fashion is nothing but what? Sequentially. In a linear fashion is nothing but what your friend sequentially I'm speaking about. So my dear friend, if you notice that what is a single dimensional array? It is a memory allocation which enable you to store what your friend n number of homogeneous mixture of elements in a linear fashion. That is what your friend sequentially. Yes, in a linear fashion, that is called as what your friend sequentially. But ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand few points technically here. In Java language, in order to work with the arrays, in Java language, in order to work with the arrays, we need to perform two operations. In Java language, in order to work with the arrays, we need to perform two operations. One is what? Declaring the array. One is the declaring the array. Another one is what? Defining the array. One is declaring the array. Another one is what? Defining the array. Now, what do you mean by declaring and what do you mean by defining the array? Guys, kindly notice that. Declaring the array is nothing but what? The specify the type of array you want to work with. Declaring the array is nothing but specify the type of array you want to work with. What type of array you want to work with? Whether you want to work with a single dimensional array or a double dimensional array or jagged array. What type of array you wish to work with, that you need to specify with what? Declaration. Specify with what, your friend? Declaration. Now what is the defining the array? Guys, defining the array is nothing but specifying number of elements required to be accommodated or required to be stored. I hope you understood, my dear friend. So what I am saying is, just in order to work with arrays, we need to specify two things. Number one, declaring the array. Number two is what, your friend? Defining the array. Declaring the array. Number two is what? Defining the array. Declaring the array is nothing but what? Specifying the type of array you want to work with. Specifying the type of array you want to work with. Now, what type of array you want to work with? Whether you want to work with a single dimensional or double dimensional or jagged array. What type of array you want to work with, that you need to represent it through declaration. Number two is what? Defining the array. Defining the array is nothing but what? Specifying the number of elements required to be stored in that array. Specifying the number of elements required to be stored in the array, we need to specify. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Just now, I would like to take you one small example here. For the single dimensional array, kindly observe this. What is the syntax for single dimensional array? How to work with that? Ladies and gentlemen, I said you, first of all, you need to go with what? Declaration. Single dimensional array. Syntax for what, your friend? Syntax for single dimensional array, my dear friend. What is the syntax for single dimensional array? If required, you need to give the modifiers, as you've seen in the previous sessions. Some modifiers like, guys, private, protected, public, default. Based on your requirement, you can use the required modifiers. Then you need to give what, your friend? Data type. Yes, we have to give some data type. Then variable name, and after that, you need to give the square bracket here. The square bracket technically represents what, subscription operator. The square bracket technically call it as what, your friend? Subscription operator, we can say. So if you notice an exam syntax, we have the different possibilities of declaring the single dimensional array. Ladies and gentlemen, declaration, data type, modifiers are optional, data type, then data type, variable name is what, your friend? Just something like X array. This is one way of declaring the single dimensional array. Even we have another way of declaring the single dimensional array. Even we can also, what, your friend? Just another way of declaring the single dimensional array. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the various possibilities of declaring the single dimensional. That means the subscription operator, you can write either of the sides of the X, either of the sides of X or right side of the data type like. These are the possibilities of declaring the single dimensional. But here we decided we are making what, your friend? JVM to understand. We decided to work with what, your friend? Single dimensional. But then what you have to do? Have you specified how many elements are required to be stored? No, we didn't specify. We didn't specify how to enter, how many values need to be stored. Then we need to define the array. The syntax for declaration, this is what, your friend? Just a syntax for defining. Then what you have to write it? We need to write variable name equal to new space. We need to give the data type. Within the square bracket, you need to give the size. The size is nothing but what, your friend? Subscription. Okay, we need to specify number of elements required to be stored. Dear, concentrate. See now what I am writing. Example. Now I am taking what, your friend? The X equal to new integer of. How many elements you want to store? That we can. Yes, we can write it. This is what now I am specifying now how many number of elements you want to store. 3 elements I want to store. See friends, combinedly we can also write like this. Here and there some just people are saying, sir, integer single dimension array x equal to new integer array of 3. Yes, you can use this way. Yes, you can use this way, my dear friend. But requesting you, you can use any of these approaches for this side, declarations. So this means what exact happens internally, ladies and gentlemen. So, but here you need to understand, for the arrays also memory is allocated within the heap only. For the arrays also memory is allocated within the heap only. Kindly observe this matter. So this, we have the two partitions, you know guys, that is the word stack. Another one is what your friend heap. Then what is array? What is happened here is, practically speaking, that one memory, just here, the memories gets allocated for that x in the heap. Yeah, memories gets allocated for the x in the heap. Ladies and gentlemen, here you need to understand another point. In Java, for every array variable, the compiler implicitly provides you an extra block. In Java, for every array variable, the compiler implicitly provides an extra block known as length. In Java, for every array variable, the compiler implicitly provides you an extra block known as what, your friend, length. Length is always holding what, your friend? Length is always holding the size of an array. Length is always holding the size of an array, which is invisible to you, my dear. Which is invisible to you. Personally requesting you for more attention. If you notice that you guys already aware, array index value always starts with what, your friend? 0. If you notice this is x of 0, x of 1, this is what, your friend? X of 2, and finally this is what, your friend? Just it is a length. In Java, for every array variable, the compiler implicitly provides you what? An extra block known as a length. But what is the length, sir? In fact, the length is always holding the size of an array. Yes, in fact, the length is always holding the size of an array. If you notice this is what exact happens, my friend. So length is always holding what, your friend? Length is always holding the size of what, your friend? The size of an array, I'm saying. This is what exact happens. But okay, now this is what, your friend? Just a x, where here x is what, your friend? X is acts as a what, your friend? Reference variable. Here is a x is a what, dear friend? X is a reference variable. Is a reference variable. Reference variable. Kindly notice that in Java, for array variables, memory is allocated within the heap. In Java, for every array variable, the JVM will provide JVM will provide an extra block known as length. The length is always holding the size of an array. Length is always holding the size of an array. So this is the way you have to declare and define the array, single dimension. That's okay, my dear. Then how to assign the values to the array? How to assign the values to the array, ladies and gentlemen? We have the different ways. That is what, here, friend, we can assign the values to the array in static way, or we can assign the values to the array in dynamic way. Okay, that is what, here, friend, assign the values. Assigning, what is the plan then? Assigning the values to an array. Yes, assigning the value to an array. We have the two different ways, my dear. We can assign the values to an array statically and dynamically. Dynamically means what? Extracting the input from the user, and pushing that values to the array variable is what, your friend? Dynamic. But friend, that lesson will be discussed later part of time. How to take the input from the user dynamically, I will be telling you later part of time. But random, just statically, I'm telling you that how to assign the values to the variable in static way. Yes, okay. Now you need to understand this particular thing, ladies and gentlemen. Then what is my requirement is, sir, here this is what, your friend, you can assign the value to the array variable this way. Sir, integer array x equal to, you can push the values like this. Yes, we can push the values like this. The first value will be stored into what, your friend? X of 0. Second value will be stored into x of 1. And third value will be stored into what, your friend? X of 2. So that just is the way it will be going to be, my dear friend. If you notice this is what exact thing. Here I am taking what, your friend? Just a 10 will be stored x of 0. And 20 will be stored at x of 1. And 30 will be stored at what, your friend? X of 2. Like this. Array index, the values are going to be stored sequentially in the array like this. This is the static way. If you want, you can also assign the value to the particular block once array is created. If you want, you can also assign the values to the array variable once array is created. How can you write now? Integer array x equal to new integer array of what your friend 3. New integer array of 3. In this particular case, x of 0 equal to 10. Yes, this way also you can assign. But this approach is good if you want to assign the value to the particular block. Now the 10 is assigned to what your friend x of 0. The 20 is assigned to x of 1. 30 is assigned to what your friend x of 2, like this. There's a way. Now what is my requirement? Just if you want, you can also assign the value to the particular block. Yes, in the next episodes, we are going to have the discussion about how to extract the input from the user and how to push them into the array. That will be later part of it. But just I want to give an overall idea about how to declare the arrays, how to assign the values, and how to read the values in Java from the arrays. Easy, my dear. Now let me take some example here. Sir, I want to write a piece of code to read the values from the array. Yes, we can go ahead. Just how can we write the code to print the values from the array? Okay, how can we write the code to print the values of the array? This is what here, this is about printing the values. The printing the values, we have the different ways. Yeah, we have the different ways in printing the values, ladies and gentlemen. I want to print the value. In Java, you guys already aware system.out.what your friend system.out.println. I want to get the x of 0. X of 0 means you will get the value there at x of 0 will be what? 10. Same way, system.out.what your friend println. X of 1, you will be getting what your friend something like 20. The same fashion, system.out.println. X of 2 is what your friend something like what your friend 30. Guys, I want to show you system.out.println. If you write x.length, you will be getting what your friend, you will be getting the 3. So just it is a what your friend property. In Java, for every array variable, just Java compiler will be providing an extra block known as what your friend just length. Length is a property. It is always holding the size of an array. It is always holding what your friend, it is always holding the size of an array. Size of an array, something like this. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a one approach, but this is really good. But whenever you want to access a value existed in the particular targeted block, this approach is really nice. But whenever you wish to read the values existed in the particular block of an array, my dear, block of an array. But if you want to read the values which are existed in the complete array, so this timing, now this moment array is having 3 elements, is not a great matter for me to write the code to read the values from it. But there are some situations I want to write the code where I want to read all the values from the array. Then we have to go with some looping. Then we have to go with some looping, gentlemen. We can go with what your friend, some looping kind of things. Now you can observe this. How do I write the code for that? So just we have the different possibilities of writing the code. Now I want to go with this way. Guys, kindly observe this. This is what your friend, I will be using approach 2. In this approach 2, if you notice, first I want to get the value there, what your friend just x of 0. Yes, I want to get the value there at x of 0. Then what your friend x of 1, x of 2. We have to start reading the value from where x of 0, x of 1 and x of 2, right? But then we have to start reading the value from the where. Now we have to start reading the value. If you are from the background of C language, you have learned about your for loop. But here I am writing integer I equal to 0. Where to start? The usually array index value will be starts from 0. Starts from 0. Ends with what your friend size minus 1. I less than 3. The next one is what your friend I plus plus. But if you guys are understood this loop will be executed for 3 times. The just loop value start with what? 0, less than 3, 0, 1, 2. That's enough. Then will the I value will be what your friend 0. 0 is less than 3. Yes. Then it will fall into the loop. Then it will enter into the loop system.out.println of x of I. X of I means you will be getting x of 0. The value there at x of 0. Then I value becomes what your friend just 1. Is 1 is less than 3? Yes. Then 1 is less than 3. It will enter into the loop. It will get the value there at x of 1. That is nothing but 20 you will be getting. Then I value becomes what your friend 2. Is 2 is less than 3? Yes. Enter into the loop and get the value there at x of 2. X of 2 is what your friend 30. 30 is printed, then I value becomes what your friend 3. 3 is less than 3, no, false, and it will come such. So guys, this is one way. But here in this context, writing this open and closed curly braces are also optional when you want to process a statement. When you want to process a statement, even writing open and closed curly braces is also optional. But if you want, you can write it. But you guys are not okay, just what your friend kids, well, even you can write this one is fine. But mostly I am habituated writing like this, my dear friend. If really speaking that open and close the curly braces is also absolutely optional. When you want to execute a statement, make sure when you want to execute a statement. So my dear friend, but here this I will write like this also. Sir, why don't we write like this? Int I equal to 0, I less than x dot length, then I value to be increased. Yes, I strongly recommend you guys to write like this only rather than writing that previous code. Honestly speaking, if you write like this, in this context, it doesn't make any sense. In this context, it doesn't make any sense because x dot length is nothing but what your friend 3 only. But do not encourage hard code. Hard code means writing this kind of things you should not encourage. Writing this kind of things you should not encourage. Hard coding you should not encourage. Why, sir? Let's have a look here. Now assume it, now the timing, the array size is 3. If the array size is 3, your code is absolutely works, my dear friend, no doubt. But assume it, no one knows tomorrow the requirement is changed to what? 3 to 30. No one knows, the requirement may be changed. But assume that your team leader came and asked you to change the size of an array 3 to 30. Assume that, gentlemen. If your team leader came and asking you to change the size of an array 3 to 30, then what you have to do? First of all, you have to change the size. Your 3 to what your friend 3 to 30. Will it be enough? No. Changing the size of an array is enough? No. Here we have written what your friend just a 3. There also we have to replace with what your friend 30. Assume it. But we have written this logic for multiple times in the code. Assume it. We have written this logic for multiple times in the code. Then, whenever you want to change the size of an array, then you require to make a whole lot of changes in the code. Then we require to make just a whole lot of modification in the code. But just rather than that, if you write like this, we appreciate you. Reason, see, whenever you change the size of an array, which implicitly reflects here. That's the reason I always suggest, if you change the size of 3 to 30, where you guys does not require to change the length here, which automatically reflects. That's what I'm telling you, my friend. So please don't encourage the hardcore kind of things. It is always good culture to use this type of things. So this is a way we have to declare the what your friend single dimensional array, and we have to write the code to read the values from it this way. Just shall we have one small example on this particular code, my dear friend? Let's have one small example on this particular case. Yes, requesting you focus. A very simple way. You need to focus. I'll be going what your friend just an edit plus. Yes, I want to go with an edit plus. In the edit plus, just I want to write one small program. Yeah, whatever the environment you are comfortable, you can write the same code. Whether you want to write in the notepad or edit plus or Eclipse, wherever you want, you can write. It's not a matter here. All right, now just already we created a folder for you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to write these programs in a folder called Java Online 11. Now I want to use one folder called Java Online 11. In that folder, I want to write the programs. Just give me a moment here. So give me a moment. Java, what your friend Java Online. Okay, just what your friend Java Online 11. In that folder, I want to write it, my dear. In that folder, I want. So just what your friend, just I am going this what your friend Java Online 11. So Java Online 11, in this folder, I want to create one more folder, guys. I want to create subfolder, that is what your friend just an arrays. Then for every topic, we are fascinated to create one new folder. It's not mandatory, but wherever you want, you can write it, doesn't matter. But I am following some folder structure, guys. Then okay, I want to just click on this to hide this directory window. Go to the file menu and click on new and just go with what your friend other and select the Java and write the program. Select the Java and write the program. This is what your friend just is an example. Now, this is what I'm writing class single dimension array demo. A single dimension array, okay, demo, just a demo I'm taking the class name. So what is the name of this program you want to take? SDA demo only, single dimension array demo dot Java. I want to say this one, later part of time. So my dear, I want to take something like public static void main of string args array. Public static void main string args array. But in this case, now what is my requirement? Integer array equal to new integer array. Sorry, my dear, new integer array of 3. Yes. Now an array is created with what your friend 3 blocks. But I want to push the values into that. Sir, x of 0 equal to 10. Sir, x of 1 equal to 20. Sir, x of 2 equal to 30. Guys, kindly observe this. This is static. I'm not taking the input from the user dynamically. This is an array which is having what your friend 3 values. I want to write the code to read the values from the array. We have the different approaches in writing. This is what your friend approach 1. I want to get the value. There at what your friend system.out.println x of 0. Then you will be getting the value there at x of 0 is what your friend 10. Same way, now I'm writing system.out.println x of 1. Then you will be getting the value there at x of 1. Similarly, I want to write what your friend system.out.println x of 2. Then you will be getting the value there at x of 2. I hope you understood, ladies and gentlemen. But this is okay, fine, guys. But this is really good whenever you want to access a value existed in the particular an array. But as I said you, in Java, for every array variable, JVM will provide unique extra block, or JVM will provide extra block known as length. Length is always holding the size of an array. Let me go with what your friend, I want to say this program, SDA demo.java, single dimension array demo.java. So what is the location you have created this program? You have to go to that location for compilation and execution. Guys, I want to go with what your friend just a command prompt. So where your drive, where your programs are existed in the E drive, there is a folder we created Java underscore what your friend just online 11. Instead of this, we have created one folder called what your friend arrays. This is a location where we save the program. So what is the name of your program, my dear? I hope you have seen that. Then Java C what your friend single dimension array demo.java. Wonderful. Now this program is getting compiled successful and just your program.class file is ready. And after that, I want to execute this. To execute this Java, name of the class was single dimension array demo. When you run this one, you've seen this one, what your friend, those are the values, and what your friend, the text.length is an array size. Sir, is there any possibility to go with what your friend to write the logic to get all the values from the array? We have the different ways. But as I said you, this is what your friend, I will go with approach 2, ladies and gentlemen. We have 3 elements. But as I said you, array index value starts with what your friend 0. 0, 1, 2. We have to write the code such a manner to iterate, loop through 0, 1, 2. Already you're aware of it, how to write the code for that. For this is what your friend, an integer I equal to what your friend 0. Where I want to start? I want to start from 0. And ladies and gentlemen, the people who are from the background of C language, you may get little confusion. Sir, you're writing the variable in the loop. Will it be possible? Yes, it is possible from C++ actually. But in C++ onwards, they're given an excellent opportunity for the developers to declare their variables wherever you want. But condition is that first before its use. First before its use. In C++ onwards, they're given one facility for you developer. You can declare the variable wherever you want, but the condition is that it must be the first before its use. Then okay, no issue. Then I am taking I less than what your friend 3 and I will plus plus. Yes, my dear friend, I'm writing now system.out.println x of I. If you notice this, guys, this loop will be executing from where 0, 1, 2. Every time whose value changing, I value changing. Then I'm substituting I x of 0, the next of x of 1, the next of 2, likewise. Likewise, yes, okay, let me go with this, what your friend, I save the code. I want to go back to what your friend, the compilation, guys. Let me go with what your friend compilation, ladies and gentlemen, then single dimension array. So when I run this one now, when I run this, guys, you will be getting this output there. This is what the output, yeah. So because the first time I use what dear friend completely in ordinary way, the second approach, if you want, you can also write one small line there, system.out.println, one line I wanted to write. So file and save it. Let me go back to what dear friend the compilation and let me run this and you will be getting this way. Not only that, as I said, we have the different way to write the code. Even you can write, but approach what dear friend, just approach 3. If you want, you can write like this, system.out.println. Just I want to give one more line before executing the approach 3. For what is that now? Integer I equal to 0, I less than, you better write x dot length. Don't write hard code. The reason I said you. Whenever you change the size of an array, which automatically reflects here, that is the reason it will make your program efficient. Then what dear friend, just I plus plus, and I want to write what my dear friend, I'm writing that system.out.println x of I, then this is the way you'll be getting this in. So friend, just we have the different ways in writing code. So just we have the different possibilities in writing the code, gentlemen. Unfortunately, there is something mistake is happened. I forget to take the semicolon in the line number 21. So line number 21, I failed to take the semicolon. Please add the semicolon. So just I want to go with what your friend, the compilation process. That's great. And just when I run this one, you'll be getting the output as well. So when I run this one, Java SGA demo, you'll be getting that 3 ways. Then first approach is completely what your friend using the index completely purely getting an individual element. And this is a good approach to get the values from the array. I hope now you understood about this particular piece, my dear friend. So this is all about what your friend, just how to declare the single dimension array, how to assign the values from the single dimension array, how to read the values from the single dimensional array. Yeah, this is what the case is, my dear friend.